Before we get into today's episode, I wanted to briefly tell you about something new I have created for 2026. It's called The Practice. I built it because businesses don't always need constant reinvention and learning. Sometimes what we need is a steady rhythm to come back to and implement. A place that you can return to each month to look back at your vision and your goals and what you were trying to achieve, reflect on how that went, plan for your next month, and stay focused on what really will move things forward in your business. The Practice is a 12-month program with monthly sessions designed to support your business throughout the year. We will look at what's really happening, look at your numbers, set clear priorities, track the right things, and create a space for you to be coached every single month and to coach another coach every month too, because that connection is so needed in business. It's calm, it's practical, it is designed to support progress without pressure. Doors are open now and they are open just once a year. You can join until 31st of December at the pre-sale founder rate of £600 plus VAT for the full year, which works out at around £50 per month. If you join now, I'll also be posting you a welcome gift before we kick off properly in January. If you want 2026 to feel more focused, more intentional, and less reactive, then you can find all the details and join the practice via the link in the show notes. Let's get on to today's episode. It's the 22nd of December and we are about to head ice skating to Battersea Power Station. And before I go, I wanted to record this episode because tomorrow we are heading to Devon for Christmas and not back until January. My clients will often ask me how I am so consistent. And my response is always, if I stopped, I don't think I would ever get started again. So that is why I'm going to record this episode, even though it's going out on Christmas Day. I feel like you really do need to embody, this is just what I do. And so if I didn't do one of the things I usually do, like record my podcast, do my weekly email, all the things that maybe I usually do, then I would lose that sense of identity. And that sense of identity is what has helped me to get to where I am in this moment, recording my 6th annual review in my business. I feel so fortunate to have created an annual review and published it on my website every single year since I started my business. And so you really can get to see the true journey to having a successful, profitable business, but the real version, not the shiny one that we often see online. Because if you look back to my reviews of 2020, you'll see that I had 0 paying clients. And my goal was to get a paying client by the end of 2020. So you'll know that income was really challenging at that time. And therefore, I really do get the journey of building a successful coaching business. What comes with this deep understanding that I have of how it feels is the internal tiredness of carrying so many people's emotions. It's really hard to build a business. So that is something I'm going to be working on in 2026. My core goal is to have really clean energy around what is mine to carry and what is not. I've signed up for a year's coaching supervision with Teresa Wilson, and she does a lot of shadow work. I don't know enough about that yet, but she has spoken on this podcast about it. And ever since, I've been intrigued and wanting to learn more, although in equal measure scared to learn more, because what triggers you in others is often something that is hidden in yourself. This year, I worked with a finance coach, Lena Rimalfgin, and set my first tangible big goal of 200,000 in revenue this year. Setting goals has never come easy to me. It often feels like you are just stating something completely crazy and you have no way of actually making it happen. But looking back on a note I found from 2022, where I stated then my big audacious goal was by December 2022, I will have in my possession £60,000, which has come to me via my course and membership creation. In return for this money, I give the most authentic and connected service to my clients who are launching beautiful businesses. I know that I have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong. And I did not reach that goal at the end of December 2022. I remember finding this very card feeling like, oh, well, that was a waste of time. Nothing ever works out or nothing ever comes true for me. What I think is my biggest learning is that things do come, but they just are always slower than you imagine. There is that saying that we overestimate what we can achieve in 1 year, yet underestimate what we can achieve in 5 years. And that's 100% true for me. On the 16th of December 2025, I exceeded that goal of £200,000. Yet, what I find every single time that I set a big goal is that it never feels as good as you expect it to feel. I had the same when I wrote a book, which was a career book called Your Dream Job Toolkit back in maybe 2021 or 2022. I can't remember now. And I had on my vision board to be a #1 best-selling author. And when the book hit #1, and I have a photo of it to prove it, I felt really unhappy. Like I thought everything would change and I would feel good in that moment, that it never comes. And so it's just that constant reminder. And it's a real cliche, I know, but we have to try and enjoy the journey because actually it's all a journey of who you are becoming in the process of reaching that goal. What this goal really means to me is years of consistency and refinement, years of holding back all of the shiny objects that I know would have detracted me from reaching this goal, years of wanting to launch program after program after program, yet restraining myself and sticking mainly to my one program, the business of coaching, and making it better and better every single time. But what this goal doesn't represent is really growing my emotional ease or unlimited capacity. I remember when I did my first business course and I said to the coach at the time, well, I can just have a membership or a group program and just have hundreds of people in it. And he said, there is always a capacity point, a tipping point where you'll need a team or you'll need certain things to make it actually sustainable. And it's probably not until this last year that I've really understood that. I've worked with 70 plus clients in my business of coaching program this year, which is a lot of people to hold. And if you add on my 10 mastermind clients on top of that, it is a lot in school hours, term time only, especially because I do know every single client that works with me. I care about every single client that works with me. I want their success for them so much that it is a lot to hold. So whilst I've grown my team in terms of some of the back end admin things and other things to support me, I haven't really focused on the emotional ease that I could be feeling if I had worked on that this year. I've always had personal coaching in my business up until this year, where I didn't make as much time for that personal journey and all of the feelings that come up along the way of building a business. So it's really important that I make that my priority this next year in business. It makes me know that my new program, The Practice, has come at exactly the right time for me because it's exactly what I need in my own business. A monthly process to look back on my review and perhaps my word of the year, which was meant to be boundaries for 2025. And yet it didn't happen because I didn't look back to that annual review until 12 months later, when now I'm wishing I had prioritized creating those emotional boundaries a lot sooner. So, what happens when intentions aren't revisited often is that we keep repeating the same patterns. We maybe don't allow ourselves to see where we are in this moment, celebrate maybe where you are in this moment, and also decide what is the next decision you need to make next month slightly more aligned with your intentions. It's also that opportunity to get coached every single month, something that we often don't do as coaches because maybe you get into your business and therefore you're prioritizing that versus your own personal development. And there is that saying that your success will never exceed the level of your personal development. So the practice is a place to review your goals every single month, review your intentions and how your business may be aligning with your life or may not be aligning with your life, as the case may be. A place to plan your intentions for next month in your business and life, and also to be coached and to coach another coach. It's going to be such a powerful place to be able to understand that you are not alone in your business. I feel so privileged to work with the most amazing coaches on the planet and know that they are just the same as me, building their business through the chaos of Christmas plays and exhaustion and moving house or whatever it is that's going on for each and every individual. My clients sometimes put me on a pedestal and say, how do you manage to achieve all of this stuff? And I held a one-on-one call with one amazing coach the other day who was quizzing me on how I get so much done in my business. And she was mightily disappointed, or I was actually quite pleased to share with her that no, I don't have 30 days content mapped out. No, I don't have a podcast pre-lined up for Thursday, even though it's already Tuesday. I'm just doing my best in this moment, just like you are. So what I'm most proud of in 2025 is hosting my Dare Greatly events. They are usually sellouts and fill really easily, which is actually really difficult for hosting in-person events. Don't be fooled, because nearly everybody I know says, oh my gosh, I really struggle to fill my in-person events. How do you do it? And how I do it is by creating a space that people rave about online and that people want to be part of. It's by helping each and every individual be part of that event, not be spoken at from a stage, but actually be the center of that event. It's also a pleasure that so many of my business coaching clients come along to those events. So I get to meet them in person, they get to meet each other in person, and just really connect and make this business building journey as enjoyable as possible. I'm also proud that I've started to prioritize school trips. I'm certainly not the PTA type. That's not saying it's not a treasured role. And my God, I look up to the people that can do it, but it's just not usually something that I prioritize. This year is my daughter's last year at primary school, and my son is 8, so he is in year 4. And I'm realizing that those days of being asked to go on the school trip and volunteer are slowly coming to an end. So I was glad to take my daughter's class to a carol service last week, my son's class to Brooklands Museum last month, and to actually come away from my desk and realize that I have created complete and utter freedom around my time. At the moment, I've been just deciding when I wake up that actually I'm going to go and have a swim and a sauna today instead of go straight to my desk. Or I am going to volunteer on every school trip that I feel like I can. This is why I built my business, though the work hard mentality is well and truly embedded. And so I really need to balance this with peace, ease, and joy, which is ultimately what I'm seeking. The thing that I'm also super proud of is the clients and community that I work with. I absolutely adore every single one of my clients. They are knowledgeable, talented, kind, compassionate. They are everything that I want to be. And I once heard the saying that you will get the clients that you need and that they are a reflection of you. At the time, getting the clients that actually taught you the lessons that you needed to embody as a coach. And now I feel blessed to see a clear, clean reflection in the mirror of who they are and who I am as well. The impact I most care about creating for my clients is freedom to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it from wherever they want to do that work. So this year I worked with 70 clients inside the business of coaching, 10 clients in my next level mastermind, 65 or so attendees across my 2 Dare Greatly events, 2 private one-on-one clients outside of my programs, and some paid events delivered for Firework Career Coaching as well. In a free capacity, I held a Your First 100 Email Subscribers webinar to launch my one-stop coach shop. I've had 278 downloads of the 2026 Coaches Planner and over 50,000 downloads of this podcast. Looking at these free events made me realize something important that could have hugely increased my revenue this year is that I held 0 launch events for the business of coaching, which is my main revenue stream. When I learned how to create and fill an evergreen group program, a monthly workshop was key. So people get to come along, hear you, experience you, and perhaps sign up to your program. So the fact that I've gone over 12 months without any workshops is kind of insane. It's also completely humbling that I have reached or exceeded my goal every single month filling that program. But it's also a huge opportunity for 2026. I had around 270 attendees at my first 100 email subscribers webinar. This was to launch a one-stop coach shop, which would provide digital products such as funnels and LinkedIn profile kits and other things that I know that coaches need. I launched this with my sister and we put so much work in, her with all the products, me with marketing it. The launch worked and it was my highest ever attendees at a webinar, but it's been really hard to promote a multi-product shop alongside our 2 established businesses already. So we made the sad decision to close the one-stop coach shop this month and both focus back on our own businesses and what already works. I'm really, really sad about this because if I didn't have my business of coaching program and put my full focus on the shop, I know it could be a huge success. But I already have a business. And as I share on this podcast all of the time, every single offer you have will slow down your progress. And when you have a shop with multiple offers, we're talking 50 plus offers, it's a very different business model than I am used to creating and promoting. Low ticket products need a lot of traffic, like running ads, very complicated funnels that I haven't had time to build, and full focus on launching a new business. The good news is you can still access those amazing products that we created through my sister's business, Brandority. I will link to that in the show notes if you want any of the tech or the pages or the templates that will help you in practical terms to build your business. My LinkedIn grew by 49% this year because I put full focus on it in Q1 of this year. My podcast has grown hugely, with this month being my most ever listened to month. And podcast is in the top 2% of all podcasts globally, which is a complete and utter joy. This year we moved house. We made the move from a 3-bed semi-detached into a 5-bed detached home. It's something that feels insane for me, with my family never coming from having a big home, and also with my own identity, I guess, of genuinely being happy with what I've got. When I moved into my previous home, it was like a dream come true to have my own picture perfect 3-bed home. I fortunately got that home around 2 weeks before I went off on maternity leave to have my first baby. So I knew that I would never be able to get a home if that hadn't have gone through, because I wouldn't be working full time again for a long time. And therefore it was my one shot. We lived there for 11 years. And in that time, I have been part-time, which for me always meant less income. So to have made this shift this year of something I genuinely never thought would be possible for me or my family is just insane. So I suppose this for me has probably been the biggest shift of what is possible. And I'm really excited to remind myself and you what is possible around part-time work. In terms of team and support, I've been continuing to work with Olga for around a year and a bit now, and she supports me every week as my core team member, talking to me, reminding me of all of the work that I do need to do at some point, and obviously helping me by doing as much as she can in the background for me. Inside my program, The Business of Coaching, I've had Jackie Jagger, who has been with me for a couple of years now inside my program. We also have Lisa York, who is our resident digital sales expert, and she brings fun and expertise to our funnels. I've continued to work with Jo, my virtual assistant, who I probably haven't spoken to this year. That makes me sound like a terrible manager. But Jo is so great that she just does what I need her to do without me ever blinking an eye. So I think that speaks volumes for how amazing she is. I also worked with Franchette this year on my social media, and Gabriella, who created some lovely branding for my socials and my LinkedIn. You can find Gabriella's details in case you need her for any of your branding in the show notes. My team treats me and my business with so much care. I cannot believe how lucky I am, considering how many people talk about not wanting to grow a team and not wanting the stress of a team. All I can say is a team is not stressful. It's utterly joyful. So moving on to what the year has felt like, is the energy has been really hard this year. I've wanted to exercise more, but I'm in that sticky place of feeling too tired to exercise, but then you're tired because you don't exercise. So I need to prioritize that energy more in 2026. I do practice yoga daily though, so that is my one blessing. It's not for very long, but it is consistent. And those moments just help me realize that it's often the one moment that I breathe deeply all day, and how very important that is. So my biggest challenge and lesson this year was that energy management, taking on too much responsibility and up-leveling my own identity to match how successful my business is right now. Someone at an event recently said to me, "You're so successful, but no one would ever know." And I don't know if it was a compliment or otherwise, but I took it as a bit of a wake up call to stop downplaying my own success, share how I have built what I've built, because I do know from speaking with lots of other business coaches that this isn't normal. With hindsight, the biggest thing I would do differently is check in on my priorities every single month. That would 10x, maybe 12x my progress, which is exactly why I've created the new program called The Practice, which you can join at the early bird rate this year only. I'm opening it just once, so do join now. It's super valuable at around £50 per month for 12 months of support. I know it's going to be an amazing space where you check in on your intentions more regularly, make quick decisions, and most importantly, act upon them quickly. I was really excited to find the word act in the middle of practice, which I have highlighted in yellow, because that is what the practice is about. Yes, we reflect, but anybody that knows me know that we act really quickly, and that is what's going to make you successful. So my priorities for 2026 are clean energy, clear responsibility, and deeper client result. I'm contemplating a really clear sales campaign, which I'm going to help my clients to implement in January, should they wish to. I want to make that as easy as possible so people can implement a really clear campaign, know when they're done, and actually enjoy their life. My intention is for the practice to build a brand of its own, just like the business of coaching and my next level mastermind have done, as the place that people come to and that every qualified coach or coach in training is a part of. One of my clients messaged me yesterday and said, my word of the year is spacious. Is that yours as well? And it reminded me that I usually set a word of the year. And last year it was boundaries. This year, hilariously enough, it's going to be spacious, which is very fitting. I've just said that I want to slow down slightly, protect my energy, and essentially just live a spacious life. When I think of what I want in my life, it is to go and work from my gym and practice yoga at my class there at least once a week. It's to maybe move to a 4-day week, which feels a little bit extravagant given that I hardly work at all, given school hours are so short. But maybe that is one small seed planted in this moment to allow myself time to go to my gym and maybe not work from my gym, but actually get in the hot tub, the pool, the sauna, and enjoy just being. I hope you enjoyed hearing my reflections from 2025. I encourage you to do the same and write up your own annual review. It's been such a wonderful thing that I've started in my business. And if you want to head over to my website, which is joannalottcoaching.com, and go to the blog section, you will find my 2025 annual review in a little bit more detail. And you'll also find the links to all other annual reviews that I've done as well. And remind yourself what is possible with small steps. So, final reminder, get in the show notes, join the practice, my 12-month program. You will build an amazing business without information overload, noise, or distraction, just tuning in to what you need each month. If you do need that step-by-step knowledge and support and personalized feedback on all of your work from me, then I'm excited to have also gifted sessions to the practice in both my business of coaching and my mastermind clients, because I was completely in shock at how many people were so interested in this monthly place to come back, look at the intentions every single month, look at your numbers, make a plan for next month, be coached and coach another coach. So wishing you a wonderful Christmas and a prosperous new year. And like I say at the end of every episode, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and be the wise gardener who keeps on watering the seed. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Women in the Coaching Arena. I have a mass of free resources on my website, joannalottcoaching.com. That's Joanna with an A and Lott with 2 T's, joannalottcoaching.com. And I'll also put links in the show notes below. Let me know if you found this episode useful, share it with a friend and leave me a review, and I will personally thank you for that. Remember to trust yourself, believe in yourself, and be the wise gardener who keeps on watering the seed. Get into the arena, dare greatly and try.